SpielBACK on podcast. I'm Cameron.
They call me Justy.
I'm Ant-Man 825789.
Oh,
And-
like how the characters are named in this movie, maybe. It's on theme.
Is it?
We don't know the names of some certain little guys, so like maybe
That's
maybe
fair.
that is how they're.
Maybe that's her name. Yeah. How are we doing? It's another day, another week, another pod, another movie.
Oh. It ain't just any other day, Cameron. This is Disclosure Day.
Oh, jeez.
That was good.
Got him again. Got him again, everyone. 1 point for
That
me.
was
1 point
good.
for me.
I'll give you a point for that one.
No. What? Just for saying Disclosure Day?
And that transition was
baloney.
spot on.
I'm a
Now, I do gotta say,
transitioner.
This is Justin's 10th point. They're the first.
I know.
We're not even halfway through the year, and we're already in double digits.
It's annoying. He needs to calm down with the points.
Minus 1 point for Anthony. He knows what he did. Welcome to the Disclosure Day
Disclosure
episode.
Day.
Yeah.
For those wondering whose fault this is, it's Cameron's.
This is not my fault. As
It's
in,
not
I don't
his
find
fault.
it to be a bad thing.
It is not.
It is not. No.
So Cameron's been talking nonstop about how there's going to be a real movie, not like these baby movies that we've been watching.
I didn't say that. I said I
Cameron
was
said
excited.
this is
that
Steven
Spielberg is
Spielberg
the only director who should be allowed to work in Hollywood.
didn't say that. Don't misquote me.
The Feeblemans.
Now, I do have a funny story. I do have a funny story about this movie.
That is.
And this will be a minimal spoiler, but I don't care because it's in the trailer, so I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to really say the spoiler. I was at dinner with a friend of mine who's on the New Jersey Film Commission. This must be a year and a half ago now. And he steps outside for a moment for a phone call. And this is normal for him. He do a lot of those phone call things. But he comes in muttering about some sort of train that Steven Spielberg wants to use. And how annoying the person that the train that owns this train has been about using the train, and how it's locking up all of production, and how they might have to delay the shoot because of this guy who just really loves trains and just owns this train, and how annoying it is.
It's not, the train's not like in usage. It's just
no.
some
It's like
guy's
from a
train.
private some guy's train. Yeah. And
Wait. That
and so-
train scene was here?
That- in New Jersey, yes, South Jersey, they shot that. They
Oh,
shot
South
that.
Jersey.
They shot that down there, and then they shot the first hideout place, the
farm?
first empty house, the farmhouse. Yeah, they shot that in New Jersey as well. They spent $70 million in New Jersey.
Whoa.
It's kind of a wild number.
They gave none of it to me. I
No.
see how it is.
So anyway, I call after seeing the movie on Wednesday. I call this guy up and I say, "Hey, look, I now know what you meant by the train." And this guy just went off another 20-minute rant of how annoying that train guy was, and I thought that was funny.
The train guy's gonna watch this podcast, Cam, and you are severing the connection between the train guy and the film
relationship.
industry.
100%. That's what we're doing. No, I mean,
He's a
but
cool
we all
guy.
know that there's two things that Steven Spielberg loves: trains and talking about aliens.
Wait a second. This might have a little of both.
This has.
I don't think it has either. There's only one train scene.
Did it
Do we
have a
need
train?
more? Do we need more train scenes?
There's two
Yeah.
trains in that scene.
Yeah.
There's technically. Yeah, I guess there's two trains in that scene.
Yeah. I'm very specific about the things I say.
But
But-
there's two trains in that
But yeah. That's
scene.
what
90% of the
it
coverage of that scene is one train, not two.
Doesn't matter. It is
was. Okay.
a train, and train important. And then they go inside the train for a little bit.
Okay.
Not for long though. For like 30
Cameron, what's the
seconds.
movie about?
No, Justin, what is the movie about?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. So, Disclosure Day is a silly little film about when I watched the trailer for this movie, I went, this movie's not about anything. This is just little silly images on the screen. when I'm watching the movie, I came to understand that this movie is about it's about a company
What is
that has been
that's
hoarding
why.
incredibly sensitive information that many believe to be of value to the public. That this company does not own this very, very important, world-shattering information. So we follow a team of people who are looking to find a way to launch this information to the public, while in the midst of it all, two people that are very affected by this important information on a seemingly supernatural level start to come into fruition and understand their calling within this world. And I feel like there's only so much I could say without getting into like some, I say minor spoilers, because things start like unveiling themselves fairly early in the film. But it is very, very exciting how these worlds start to collide, and how it all comes together there on the one and only Disclosure Day. I don't know.
That's a great that's a
Uh,
great I don't know. I feel I think this film's biggest strength is the way that it slowly unravels the mystery, but does it I think it's at a good pace. I love I love the pacing of the unraveling.
Yeah.
Um like I think it does
It's
that really well. The one thing that I think describes this film really well is it is a classic Steven Spielberg movie that we haven't seen in a hot second, like akin to like Close Encounters, akin to Jurassic Park.
right.
It feels like that, like the 90s level of Spielberg. And I think because it's the year of our Lord, 2026, it does not hit as hard as it did back then.
Yes,
Whoa.
because I think Close Encounters was better because it was the 90s versus today.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think Close Encounters was Close Encounters the 90s.
It might be the 80s. I don't know. But
I
saw it
know
with my
Jurassic
dad.
Park is the 90s.
I saw this movie with my dad, who was like really big into aliens and saw Close Encounters. So I was like, "So what'd you think?" He was like, "Close Encounters is better." First thing he said right off the bat, was,
77. Close
is
Encounters the
better.
third time is 77, by the way. So
Way off. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, that's a whole, way
it's
off.
a whole decade off.
Whole decade. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel I agree the pacing was good, but I feel like I'm trying to think of the best way to say it without spoilers. The main character, Emily Blunt, fantastic by the way. They slowly revealed her character and like what's going on with her a lot slower than
Josh
than
O'Connor.
Daniel's character, than Josh O'Connor's. Yeah, I feel like we found more stuff about his character way too fast. I wish his was a little bit slower too, like Emily Blunt's. Wow.
But his reveal isn't until fairly late into the. Well, actually, is it fairly late? I don't know if it's fairly late.
What
I
it
thought it was
allows
like within
for,
like 40 minutes into the film.
and we'll talk about
During
this
the
I
more in
don't.
the
one
spoiler
scene.
section, but what it allows for is for two characters with similar outcomes on a story level to reach that conclusion in very different ways, because we experience these two characters in very different ways. If we experienced them at the same pace, it kind of would have felt like both of them were hitting the same conclusion at the same time, and that would have been less interesting. IMO.
I love that. Yeah, I do think this movie is a little too long. In my opinion, I think it could
Really?
have been a little short. Yeah.
I thought it was perfectly long. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be
Cameron's like
longer.
biggest compliment for the movie so far has been pristine pacing.
I think the pacing's great. I think, except for like the opening, I think there's like a moment in this movie, and I can't tell you when it was exactly, but I did it lulled for like a little bit, and I'm talking about like 5-10 minutes. It felt like it lulled for a little
The
bit.
chase scene,
Uh,
the whole opening scene when he
like
gets
I think
pulled from the fight.
I think the acting is tremendous in this movie. I love Colin Firth. I love Emily Blunt. I love Josh O'Connor. I love Coleman Domingo, who
Emily
comes in
Blunt.
with like a tremendous. I think Coleman Domingo and Colin Firth are the stars of this film, like as like performance wise. Like I think the two of them are just so great within the way that they do things. And I think, yeah, I think Justin puts the nail on the head. The fact that they're in two different levels of both knowledge, but then also knowing what's going on is super interesting. Because it lets, as Justin said, lets them come to different conclusions. But also I think they both learn different things at different times, right? Like I think what I can say without giving a spoiler is, I think Daniel is gifted in what he does, and he sees that as a gift, not from something from far away, but from something,
Higher
just
being.
the fact that he's smart, right? Like he just has a high IQ essentially. But Margaret's is like gift is so just like I don't know if weird, but like extraordinary that I think you can't be like, oh well, she's just that smart. Like she just knows things that you can't know on an intellectual level, right? This is, and so I think they come at it in different ways and they're connected, but their skill set is different, which I think forces you to come to different conclusions. And I think that's just the interesting part. That's one of the more interesting parts of this movie.
Give me the overall, Cam.
My
Overall.
overall what?
The feelings.
My overall
overall
thoughts?
feelings.
I came out of this movie being like, I think Spielberg is back. And I mean, I love The Fabelmans. I really did, but very different vibe of a movie than this one. This one feels like it harkens back to an older time of Spielberg's. I think my biggest thing with this film is that this is the 6th movie Spielberg has made about aliens.
6.
Let's
I
hecking
believe it's-
go.
I believe it's
On
his
the
6th.
time.
It's 5th or 6th. And it's just kind of wild to me how much he thematically brings in aliens. I think this movie makes it a little bit different, but I think the difference is too little too late in that sense for me. And so I think if it would have, I think you lose the whole arc of the Disclosure Day for a while because there's so many other mysteries to unsolve that when we get back to the whole Disclosure Day of it all, it just is like it just comes back out of nowhere. And so I think that's the big disconnect for me in this film is like, I mean, the Disclosure Day is disclosed, but yeah. I don't know.
Congrats on the
I feel
disclosing.
like it loses plot.
Yay!
Yay, we disclosed it.
Anthony,
Anyone else?
is Cameron right for these feelings?
Whoa, you put me in the hot seat there, Justin.
It's just a silly way to ask. Do you agree? What are your thoughts?
I agree. I agree, but there's some things I disagree with. Yeah, because I agree with him. The pacing was right. I think it should have. I actually wanted the ending to be different.
Ooh.
And we'll get to that during spoilers. And there's something I'm
yeah.
gonna, like ET
Yeah.
style, like that's.
Oh, I'm interesting. I'm interested what that
Cameron
means.
is interesting. Point for Cameron.
Yeah.
For being interesting.
I wish Daniel
said interested, but okay.
His storyline was a little bit like knowing what he is and the gifted was a little bit extended. I definitely agree that his definitely could be classified as gifted. But to him, it's probably extraordinary because he doesn't get it because he was an average. I don't know if I could say that without spoiling, but he was, as a kid in college, an average Joe. Then one day, poof, he's a mathematic wizard.
Yep. I can actually relate. I was in a gifted math course when I was in 2nd grade, and I was really on a high horse the whole rest of my life. Granted, I did not make it into that gifted math program come 3rd grade because I'm good at math, but I'm not fast at math. And those tests, speed limit, So I understand what it's like to be incredibly gifted with math, and it's not easy. And I understand why he's had such a difficult life.
Justin, you've had such a hard life, I do have to say.
Yes.
Like that, just hearing that story is just like, it's devastating to hear that people like you exist.
Yeah, and I should be honored as a result. And that's my disclosure to you all today. And I hope we get to learn about your childhood traumas as well.
Justin, what are your overall thoughts on this movie?
Okay, we'll circle back on the childhood traumas thing. I kind of alluded to this a little earlier. When I was watching the trailer for this, I was going, what even is this? Just I can't piece together what this is about, and my tiny brain needs that specificity. I think I wanted to really clown on this one. Just a gut feeling of like, come on, let's. You think you can still work in Hollywood, old man?
Calling Spielberg an old man. I mean,
and then
Did you say Spitburger?
that
No,
dang
Spielberg.
Spitburger.
I've heard-
I've known Spitburger for 40 years. He's a hack. That's it. Movie starts and I'm like, firstly, it punches you in the face with a big reveal. Won't be too specific about what the first shot of this movie is like, but
Yeah, but the first shot, I was like, "What am I about to watch?" Because I came with the expectation of this, and that opening scene is like completely different to what the expectation was.
Yep.
so I start watching the movie, weird things start happening, and I start going, "Oh no, this is kind of awesome." I think there's a lot about this movie that is kind of stupid, but I'm not CinemaSins. You know, I could let the stupid things go.
CinemaSins. You don't know about CinemaSins, the YouTube channel, CinemaSins?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
We'll circle back on that because I don't have the energy for
yeah.
CinemaSins talk.
Yeah, me neither. We need to have this discussion offline.
It's whatever. Point being that
Not for
it is
Anthony.
so engaging. There's never a moment where I do not care during this movie.
100%.
I mean, like, first act has its ups and downs, but like after that point, like I am strapped the heck in. I love, even if it doesn't, even if like in terms of like the sci-fi / magic system in this movie could kind of just be whatever it wants to be at any given time, sort of. They have so much fun with it. I think
the moment. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I just think this movie is very fun, very creative. I care about these characters. It's in a lot of ways it's very simple, but any way that they are able to make little moments feel larger than life and fantastical, it goes hard, and they do that a lot. I was super into this. Embarrassingly, after I decided, based off of really nothing, that I was gonna rag on it, but I will say, it is in the top 4 Spielberg movies that I've ever watched.
How many Spielberg movies have you seen, Justin?
I've seen 4 in full.
You've definitely seen more than that. You've definitely seen more than that. Jaws, E.T.
Didn't see it. Part of it. What was the third one?
Wait, you've never seen Jaws?
I saw parts of it.
You've never seen E.T.?
I saw many parts of it. It would be like on TV often.
Just all right. We're not doing John Wick anymore.
But I know you're probably wondering what movies I did see. I'm gonna bring Cameron back in against his will. You're probably wondering.
I can't deal with. No.
Wait,
we need to like watch Jaws.
What
together?
Oh, Big Shark shows up in the last 5 minutes. I get it. Okay.
Wait, what movies have you seen?
Yeah, what Spielberg movies have you actually seen?
What Spielberg movies have I seen? You'll be excited to know that, and you can tell me if this is a good representation of the filmography. I've seen Indiana Jones 1, Indiana Jones 2, Indiana Jones 3, but only parts of 4, so I'm not going to count that. My dad turned it off eventually. So I'm kind of a Spielberg expert.
What about like Ready Player One, some of his newer stuff? West Side Story, War Horse, Schindler's List.
Nope.
AI, Saving Private Ryan.
I'm not an AI fan, sorry, Cameron, but no Saving Private Ryan.
Hook. Oh, I've seen Hook. I forgot that Steven Spielberg directed Hook.
You just keep naming movies. I'm sure when I looked at the Wikipedia list right before this podcast, I definitely missed one. So keep going.
Tintin?
Nope.
Did he direct Tintin? No. Did he really?
Yeah, and wrote it.
Amstead.
Oh, sorry, and produced it. I mean,
Wait, where is
The
Tintin?
Color
Let's see the
Purple?
list.
The original Color Purple.
I saw the remake on the podcast.
Okay. I give
So
up, Cameron.
why would I watch the old one if you show me new one? You show me new one. You,
No. Cameron showed you a new one.
Cameron, this guy. If it
Where did
wasn't
he
for
finish
Cameron,
these?
I'm sure I would have seen the original The Color Purple.
Yeah, I don't believe that for one moment. I don't believe that for 1 second.
So, my fourth
yeah, this is a
Spielberg
wild
movie,
conversation.
and it was exciting. Let's see. The headline is, "I liked the movie that I decided that I wasn't gonna like." You should be praising me, not looking bewildered. Put on the spoilers.
Yeah. We gotta move on.
I think I'm gonna be at a loss for the whole entire episode that you.
Grow
This is the
up.
only, like,
I've seen a
besides
wide
Raiders-
variety of directors in my time. I'm
besides
sorry
Raiders,
that I
this
haven't
is
just
the only
sat down
other
and go,
true
"Oh, the only
Spielberg film."
director I'm gonna watch is Spielberg." Like,
No, but he's directed so many movies.
So
And
many,
you've
and so many
seen
icons.
Indiana Jones-ish, and this.
I've seen
Like,
3
we're from the
Indiana Jones
Jersey
movies.
Shore.
I'm basically Spielberg's biggest fan. So what's
We're
your
from
deal?
The Jersey Shore. You realize the Count Basie Theater does a screening of Jaws every single year.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Do I have
And
to
it's-
pay
Because it
money
is
for
amazing.
a
that?
shore icon.
It is a classic Shoretown film,
If you
and
pay
the
for
fact
me to
that
see
you've
it, I'll
never
go
seen
see
it,
it.
and it is film history.
It is film history. We studied in film school.
Yeah, so was
The-
Citizen Kane. I saw that. I don't have to see every film history movie.
But
No, but you
Citizen
see
Kane
the
is not Spielberg.
landmarks. This is the beginning of the blockbuster
saw-
era.
I saw The Lion King at least 50 times. What more do you
That's
want
not-
from me?
That's not the
So
same.
Jaws.
Watch what you're saying here. Watch what you're saying here.
To watch Jaws. That's what I'm asking you to do, is to watch the movie Jaws.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll do it like a reaction. I've seen at least 50 Marvel Studios projects.
We're doing this we're doing Jaws for my birthday. We're doing Jaws for my birthday for
for the
pod.
podcast or just to hang out?
No, for the podcast. Like my
I'm
birthday
fine with
episode.
that. I will gladly see it again.
What?
For
We'll
the
find a
eighth
time to see it.
And then I'm going to be in the spotlight, and I'm going to talk about how clearly the shark was a robot.
Actually, it was a dysfunctional robot, and that's what made it so great.
Correct.
I've
right.
been on the studio tour.
I
know
will
stuff.
tell you the one thing that I 100% agree. I think the moment when Margaret and Daniel come together, there is not a dull moment after that moment when those two come together.
That was my
No,
favorite part.
Anthony. I mean, it is a beautiful moment. It is so well done. It is
Yeah, it
just
is.
amazing. And then the two walk out in this hangar and drive off, and they're kind of unstoppable, except for the one schmuck who cannot have any emotions apparently.
That is my gripe with the end of the movie, is with that one schmuck. I love how I just called him the one schmuck. He is, because I'm just gonna say it. At the end of the movie, they're in the they're on the set,
Yeah.
really about to disclose they're not the Department of Defense. What's their name again?
No, that's
Web
WebEx.
Vertex.
WebEx. Yeah, WebEx. Turn
Not
off the power.
WebEx.
Turn off the backup generators, right? And literally is about to just stop disclosure from happening, and then the head guy stops because he's gonna let it happen. He's come to the truth that maybe it is something that need to happen. But the schmuck could have just literally pulled out his gun, and then boom, Margaret, movie over.
He wasn't given the order.
It's not a good ending, but it's he's been trying to stop this a whole movie. He could easily
Wait, are you
stop. He
talking about
could
the
have
lead
stopped it.
schmuck or schmuck number 2?
Not Colin Firth.
Right. I thought Cameron's talking about Schmuck number 2.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Schmuck number 2. I
That's
think
what I'm talking
Anthony's
about, too.
also talking about
Okay,
Schmuck
but
number
Schmuck
2.
number 2 didn't get the order.
But he walks off without the order.
Yeah, he walks off at the order before. It's just like a continuity thing.
Well, it's kind of
I think
implied
that's-
that the whole thing is kind of called off at the end.
I think the interesting part is, and I think this is an interesting conversation to have. Do we think that Noah comes to terms with the fact that this is going to happen? Does he just give up? Does he think that it's a good idea? Like, he sits down and is just like, this is going to happen. And then him and Hugo just have this moment of like, this is disclosure day. And I'm like, where is that shift? Like, what is the shift? Because up
You
until
don't see
10
it.
seconds ago. What?
Sorry, continue. So you don't see the shift. That's my gripe too. You don't see any shift.
Like, I feel like
he's a
there's-
very
but-
religious man who's having a very religious experience, seeing this woman kind of like take control of basically the world's attention all at once. And I don't think he has it in him to like combat that.
You think it's just like he's tried so hard, and the whole time he's like, so give it like it. You know what it is at this point.
I think, yeah. I mean, there's the spirituality
I get-
angle
yeah.
that I was just looking at it with, but there's also it's his baby, and I think he's in a sense he's ready for it to leave the nest. I think he knows at this point that no matter how hard he fights this, it's gonna get out somehow. And I think he's like, well, if it's gonna get out, I want to be here to experience it. And I'm putting a lot of words in the movie's mouth, being that the movie did not explain this, and I understand if that's a gripe. But I don't know, it adds to the grandeur of the moment that it happens the way it does, I feel like. But
Yeah,
that's-
it doesn't,
I think
like,
it's a fun little spice to it.
To me, I think it doesn't matter. I think the whole return to this, because I think when we enter the studio for the first time, it's very clear that Margaret's going through something and that she's learning about this power that she has. Right? And what that means and how to kind of deal with it. And then when she comes back, everyone just kind of implicitly trusts her because I think she's come to terms with what she has and is either able to just use it or has just like everyone knows her well enough where like she sowed the seeds in the beginning to come back to be able to do whatever she needed to do kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it like the whole ending doesn't matter in that sense. I think the whole entire ending of this film being that they take over this place and that we finally see what's happening and that we finally get all the clips, to me, basically just is the result of these people, these information fighters, kind of winning because they've outrun and outsmarted everyone. And that everyone has kind of just gone with, well, that is what it is. And as soon as the first clip goes up, that's it, right? As soon as the first clip of Aliens goes up, it's over. We have now officially confirmed that aliens exist. And
Officially
I think-
confirmed.
Well, they were questioning
the
it.
AI device has confirmed it cannot be AI in 2026.
You
It's
make fun of
silly,
it, but
but, like, I'm fine
that's what
with
that's what newsrooms do nowadays.
That's what newsroom do.
They
Yeah, do
use
that.
AI to determine if something has been altered.
Okay, but with AI, do they just have a button? Like they just
Yeah.
press and they're like, oh, it's AI. But also, does the public believe that?
Well, that's up to the public discussory.
And
You know what I'm
Disclosure
trying to
Day
say.
2 is then about people going,
There's a second
that's
one?
some BS
No.
to distract from
No.
World War III. Ho ho ho, you sly Americans. I don't know. like,
I mean,
but
or
yes,
it's real.
that's why you do it at a big news broadcasting station. So
do you guys
people believe it slightly more than if it was just leaked onto the internet somehow. But what were you gonna say, Anthony?
talking about this? Do you guys really think the world would stop the way they average, like the way they showed, like people not going on trains, like people just on
Something
their
like
phones?
that.
Like
could
that was
be.
extreme. I don't know if it'd be that extreme of people just tuning into this broadcast and
I
stopping
think
everything
Joe
they're doing.
Roberts, yeah, I think Bob Schmo would probably still be like, yeah, there's aliens, but I have a 9 to 5 to get to, so
Yeah.
who's paying the bills? Like I'm going. I think some people would like have like an existential nightmare, but I think that's more like a 35% of people kind of thing.
Could it also just be that the fact that it was Margaret that started this message, like that's the whole power of the alien, of her like innate power, is that she's able to,
Oh, to
and then
captivate you
through
so
that
much
got
where you
people
can't
on.
move.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
We see that happen on multiple occasions.
I would believe that element more if she was like the news broadcaster that is like stringing things together, but we're introduced to someone else, who's like the main news
yeah.
focus.
The girl from New York.
I feel bad
Don't
that
know her
Emily
name.
Blunt, like her whole dream was like, I want to be like the big news person, and then she gets the big moment in the end, and yes, she gets to start it for like 10
2
or fewer
seconds.
seconds, but then someone else is seemingly like the primary focus throughout all. And let me be clear, on a meta, the actress who plays that woman does a phenomenal job, and I really feel the like intense, tender emotions that she's experiencing while all these clips are being played, and it feels very authentic, and I think it enhances the movie in that regard. But it's kind of sad, right? That Margaret isn't the one who gets to like properly proceed. But I guess it's important to be able to feel these things, and assumedly it wouldn't make sense for Margaret to be as like choked up in the same way that this woman who had no idea what was going on is just first experiencing this. And that's how the movie gets you, right? Like it,
Yeah.
like, you empathize with the woman who's experiencing this for the first time, and that hits really hard.
It
Yeah.
definitely does. But like, I feel like after, because that first of her wanting to be that news reporter, that's her first act. Like that's opening the movie. But then like as she gets these powers, it's more like I have a bigger purpose. And like being the news anchor, yeah, that was my dream. But like, you could tell that she was lost. She wanted to become a big news anchor because she didn't know what she was doing. That's why she was talking to her boyfriend about moving from Dallas to Kansas City. Not
He
Kansas
doesn't
City.
want to go
Yeah,
with
Kansas
that.
City. And then wants to go to New York or Chicago or she said a bunch of other places, right? I said Chicago weird. Bunch of other places. And now
Chicago.
it's like once she finally understood her power, or somewhat like midway through, it's like this is my purpose. I don't need to go anywhere. Kind of realization, So I think
So the
that's set
man was right
aside.
all along. That
No,
is important for her to
that's
be
not the
right
argument. It's not
here
the
in
argument.
Kansas City.
That's not the argument.
The fact that she woes up to her boyfriend after realizing what her power is and goes, "You want me to leave because you want to break up with me?" Oh man, that's such
That
a
was messed up.
hard hit. That's such a hard hit. Yeah. Anyway.
And then she ditches that guy real quick, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, he wasn't great. Actor's great.
white.
That's a great actor, but that character, man, don't be with someone like
It's a
that.
piece of work.
Although a little disappointed in that actor because I feel like he only plays these bad guys.
Yeah, as a person who's only
He's a
seen
great
the
actor.
Marvel
Don't get me
movies, I
wrong, but
agree.
like, where's the diversity?
He doesn't play the bad. He doesn't play the bad guy in Thunderbolts. He's one of the
He's
bad
not a
guy
great
people, but like
guy.
he has a good
Cameron, have you seen
redemption.
the hit Marvel show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, safe character.
Because he's this guy,
He's good at it.
worse in that
Yeah.
show where the character originates from Marvel. And then the Thunderbolts makes him into a cleaner
Redeemable
guy.
character.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Character.
But I
guys
do
wanna
think he's the
talk
most interesting part of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a show of which I'm not crazy about, but he's a very interesting character.
I second that statement. You guys want to talk about Jane?
So to compare to Bad Boyfriend, we have Awesome
Jane.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, love Jane.
Sticking by her guy, no matter what illegal stuff he's up to. Well, illegal? It depends. What
Yes, he
Very much illegal.
isn't exactly the government, but they're posing as the government, but they're also in alliance with the Defense Department. So I don't know.
Assumingly everything that company kind of controls is like classified secrets, which would then make him a whistleblower, which is in fact illegal and considered treason.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
is
Okay.
definitely. I think the interesting like faith argument that's in this
I was gonna bring that up
film,
too.
that's
Yeah,
all Jane, right?
that
It's
is
really
all Jane.
interesting.
100% all
It isn't
Jane.
an interesting argument. It's an interesting conversation. Which like, do we think that the denial or that we figure out there's an all-powerful alien being that like kind of can do so many things kind of spits in the face of the idea of a god? Or like, it's just such an interesting
I'm
conversation.
I'm
I
interested in faith, while not very much being a faith person. I was I thought the conversation was a little weird in that I was like, what, I don't know, like if there's aliens, like why would that my initial thought is why would that spit in the face of God? And then the nun like kind of spoke to that thought process a
I
little bit.
love
So I was
that
like, okay,
scene.
so the movie's on the same
I
page as
love
me.
that
So
scene.
Disclosure Day and we're chill. But I was like, I don't know, like what why
Well,
why I was so confused why Jane was like these things can't both exist, the faith and aliens. I'm like, what?
because it
Like
was her
what?
lack in humanity. It was her not having human, like the whole premise is her thinking there was a lack of faith within a higher being, within
Mm-hmm.
God, of her either Catholic or Christian belief. I don't know which belief it was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then it was her lack of humanity, and understanding that humanity as a whole can't be as faithful as like the nuns are or stuff like that, or understand like stuff like that, and her being upset with humanity, but then understanding that, like, not saying there is, but like a higher being could have created other beings on Earth, and they just might be smarter than us and more whatever.
But they're not smarter than
I mean, they have flying spaceships.
I was in
That's
gifted math
smarter.
over here.
I mean, I think it's an interesting conversation, and I think this film treads it just like so well that like I don't have to be a faith-based person to enjoy the conversation, nor would I, as someone that's faith-based, be offended by this conversation. I think it does walk that
Does it
tightrope really
well.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because
careful,
like
and I
it
think a
doesn't
lot.
sidestep anyone. It doesn't really talk down to anyone. But it really does ask the question of like, hey, if we know that aliens are real, what does that do with our faith? And I think the nun is just so smart. I love her. She's one of my
And this
favorite
She's
is
like
good.
the star
characters
of
that
the
doesn't get
movie,
enough love.
Jane. How about the best part of the whole thing, the interrogation sequence, baby?
Oh,
That was the best part of the whole thing.
it's
It's top
so
3.
good. It's so strong. I think
I
the
think
whole
there's a strong
I
whole
like
argument for being the
the
best
farm
part.
running scene.
The what running scene?
really, I thought that
Yeah.
was
Like
fine.
the Metal Gear sneaking around scene?
Yeah.
What scene?
The chasing
Uh,
scene.
Out of the
no,
farm?
Out of the farm. Yeah.
I thought that was
That's one of the
fine.
chase scenes, yeah.
Alright, we can talk about the possession scene.
Um, I
Investigation, baby.
think
There's so much to talk about.
yeah.
Cameron first.
I mean, first of all, we're dealing with this item, right? This like glowy stick. As Justy wrote, it's the glowing spear thingy.
It's true.
It is so interesting to see what this is, and I don't think it's actually clear what it is at all, even at the end of this film, because it's kind of the MacGuffin of MacGuffins kind of thing, which is really funny. Now, could it just be the thing that you want it to be? That could also be the case, right? Like, is it just like this unknown power of like, hey, whatever the person is thinking, and so does that mean that that Noah is just evil, right? Like, is just Noah just that kind of character that he's just foregoingly evil? Does it mean that, Margaret is able to tap into it more than everyone else? Like, it just opens so many questions. But the way that he's able to control her while also Jane being able to see that she's being controlled and find ways in which to stop the controlling from happening is so good. Like, it's so well done. And I loved the eye effect that they do in this movie. It's so like well timed and so much fun.
Which is we'll come back to this, but when they started doing like the eye scan things to make sure people weren't possessed, I'm like, that's just funny. Like I thought that was just a thing for us, but it's, like they understand that the eyes get weird too. I just thought that's just a funny.
Well, because the it's seemingly the eyes become the color of the person, or they swap eye colors.
Yeah, they swap eye colors. She had blue eyes to brown eyes, and he had brown eyes to blue eyes.
Windows
Which, by the
to
way, Colin Firth with blue eyes, so good.
Bussin'.
Like, hot.
Bussin'.
Like, Colin Firth with blue eyes, really hot. Gonna be honest with you.
You're so real for that.
He should wear blue contacts every day.
I'm truly, those like baby blue, oh man. Like, I understand he's married and is like twice my age. Like, oh no, 3 times my age. I don't care.
Cameron doesn't care. Colin, Cameron's coming for you next. Heckin',
well, Cameron, they do have a divorce. They divorced in 2019.
Oh wow, how about that?
Cameron, you are set to go. Heckin', he commanded so much control in that scene. It's so creepy.
See, that's the thing that Justin really likes about Colin Firth in this scene is the control part.
I thought you were the one with the crush. Are we changing the narrative here? Like, what's happening?
Yes.
Multiple
people on this podcast can have a crush on an actor.
Well, that is true. Mine is Emily Blunt.
Colin and Anthony. You got Emily, and I have. I'm looking at the list of characters. I'm looking for a funny answer.
Yours is what's his name? Daniel.
Who's Munzie? I want to whoever Munzie was played by whoever Noah Robbins.
Munzie.
I like the name Munzie. That's
what about Hugo, Justin? You could be a Hugo fan.
Yeah, I mean, how are you not a Coleman
Hugo's
Domingo?
voice, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
I love
one
Coleman
of the best
Domingo
voices in the industry.
Yeah, this is the second. If I had a nickel for every time I watched a movie, and one of the main reasons was because Coleman Domingo played like a really wacky character, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but weird that it's happened twice this year. The other one, of course, being Running Man when he's the main like host of the show.
Right.
Yeah, I think Coleman Domingo's great.
You would.
We'll talk about him in a moment.
Man.
I have a really interesting question for that whole process. Yeah, but the possession scene with Colin Firth, that whole interview portion of that is so well done, and just the acting is so great, and the cutting back and forth is so great, and like it's all so good.
So
you know what is better though? Emily Blunt's when she has a clicking.
And she has a kicking?
Clicking,
but we both heard.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive. There's a reason it's the centerpiece of the trailer. It is very striking in itself. It is very funny listening then to what's his name, Daniel Kellner, being like, she's just talking. Like, come on, like, what's the big deal?
See, and that's the other part of this trailer. The trailer that's so striking is when she goes, "But I can understand it."
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that scene in the movie is so underwhelming because we already know that he could understand it because we already had this discussion.
Well, we just had the reveal earlier in the movie. But you're right.
Yeah. But that specific scene just doesn't hit as well as it does in the trailer because we already have that reveal. Yeah, and the fact that in that night that that Noah is able to go back in Jane's mind and then look and see where everything is, like where they are, I think is so brilliantly done. So good.
I love that. Can I bring in my one pick? I announced earlier I'm not CinemaSins, and I've even since this movie I keep seeing people point out things like, why did the wheat farm shape change just by Daniel standing around? That didn't relate to anything, and I'm like, yeah, but it was a cool
It
shot,
did.
right? So, I mean,
It related. It related to the emblem of it was the same emblem on the spear.
did the spear
Yeah,
make that?
no, because he doesn't have
We
the
don't
spear.
know. He doesn't have the
Who
spear.
made that happen? Why did that happen?
The aliens made it happen.
The
No.
aliens made it happen. Okay.
I have a theory. Emily Blunt made it happen because at that moment,
She's detecting him?
moments after that, she calls him to warn
Mhm.
him. So what if that scene was her psychologically linking towards him
I like it.
using
Interesting.
the
I like it.
aliens,
That's actually cool.
whatever?
Yeah.
Bam!
Very
Nice.
good job.
Emily Blunt
Very
for the
good
win.
job. Yay! Point for Anthony.
Fun.
So my only little thing that made me very actively crunchy while watching the movie, because like I'm fine with the things that I don't notice during the movie, because that means that the movie did enough to entertain me that I'm not caring about the things that you can be nitpicky about. The thing that did bother me is, okay, so we keep entering Jane's mind. It's proven to be a fairly relatively simple thing to do. So when Space Rod is missing glowy spear, and they're like, Daniel Kellner, where is it? And he's like, well, I don't know. No one's like, oh, also the girlfriend is missing. Maybe girlfriend and spear. Let's link back up to Jane's mind and just have her return the spear to us. Shouldn't that be like the first?
But does she know that she has a spear?
Yes. Yeah. He hands it to her right before she goes out the
No.
window.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he just
yeah,
puts
yeah,
it in the
yeah.
bag but doesn't tell her.
No, but
No,
like
they leave the
she's
bag behind.
seen the
He
she's
hands her
seen
the
the
spear, she
beginning
goes
of the
out the
thing.
window.
Yeah,
And he says,
the
he
beginning of
specifically
it.
says,
Yeah,
don't like try to tamper with this, right? And then sends her off.
yeah. He just hands her the black thing, the black
Interesting.
the black rectangle.
He said,
Here's
don't touch
my
what's
question.
inside, right? And then sends her off. Like, why didn't they just? They checked up on her like 3 different times during this movie. Why not just do it one more time when they're like, oh, the spear and the girl aren't here. Maybe that there's a reason for that. Then maybe they're together.
It's the same gripe I have with the ending too. You know, he could have just ended it right then and there. Movie over.
You didn't have the order.
How does how does Hugo know where to build the house? What house? So basically, Hugo has to have known who the other person was.
Yeah, the whole
From
time.
like the start.
Even
But he hinted at that. He said, "We've been waiting for you." When he calls her.
Scanlon,
But it made it seem like
Noah
to
Scanlon
me that
was like there was someone who was able to detect that Margaret was the person.
Because the aliens are communicating with him the whole time.
So he knew about Margaret. I don't think I fully understood while watching the movie how someone understood, but like it was established twice that someone informed Hugo that it was her.
The alien at the end. When he wheels in the alien at the last scene, that alien has been the one communicating to Hugo.
Right.
Daniel's this, Margaret's this, you need to do X, Y, and Z in this order for this day to happen.
Yeah.
How he communicates to the alien, that I don't have an answer for.
They're in love, and it's a love connection.
Because technically, Daniel's the only one that can communicate with the aliens. So he understands the click, click, clackety, clack.
And maybe Daniel's been able to translate some of that information without even realizing what it is.
Yeah, because it makes it seem Hugo makes it seem like they didn't know that Daniel was a connection.
He's been able to communicate with them through the spear because what's his face?
Hugo?
Not
Or
Hugo.
Noah?
That guy said in the comment when he went to Noah, when he went to grab it, saying the guy said Hugo's the only one that's been successful for contact. So that's how Hugo's been contacting the aliens. Boom. Yeah. I'm a genius.
Another point for Anthony, being a genius. Point for Jack while you're at it too.
No, why?
Because it's funny. I don't know.
We had this bit last time. No.
Yeah, but I wanted to see if you're in a good mood today.
No, not on this. I think this is a solid film. I think, you know what, it's time. I think it's time, gang. Unless we want
There's just
to.
so much more to say. Let's just sit here for 5 more hours. We didn't even talk about the train sequence itself.
Yes,
That's
we
a
did. We
cool
talked about the
scene.
train.
We
We
talked
talked
about
about the
it.
guy who
There's 2
owns a
trains, not
train.
one.
And the only thing we talked about the train sequence is that there's 2 trains.
2 trains,
Which
not
is
one.
not the takeaway of the scene for me. And then we have
They
the
always die.
context
What's
scene
there
right
to talk
after,
about?
with this beautiful imagery on the train with all the piano-y kind of stuff. And like putting the hands against the strings and the
the panic
that's a
attack.
cool sequence. We haven't even talked about like Emily, all the comedic sequences, Emily running in and like speaking a bunch of different languages, and talking about the connection she's makes with people. We talked about how she has an extraordinary power without even really saying what it was. Like I could go on and on, but maybe the people don't want that. Maybe people just want us to give arbitrary numbers to movies and be like, oh, movie did a good job. Let's call it a day. Maybe, I don't know. This is not
I
me
do.
talking
I think the one thing that I would then bring up, because I think this is
Mhm.
a great topic to bring up, is the
This is
whole
great.
reveal as to what's been happening and why this has been happening with them as kids, and what that means, and that they were probed, and that they
Mhm.
were picked for this mission, and that she is the connection for the human side, and that Daniel is the connection for the alien side, and that essentially only the two of them together can create create the bridge between these aliens and
Humans.
these humans. And I think that's a very interesting way of doing it, and the wave of emotions that go through, of both just like regret and fear to acceptance and understanding, is so beautifully done.
Mhm.
For a scene that could have been terrifying, because it kinda is.
I mean,
Like,
it's
if you
to the
really think about it
process of
objectively,
it.
if you think about it objectively, it is terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
kid finds animals that just phase shift through a wall, and then they all phase shift through a wall together to go to some weird house, and then they're on a table with restraints, and a weird alien covers their face with their hands, while a ring of like these spear thingies starts to ingest them with power. Like, make
Yeah.
it a little different. Like, have John Williams make, which, by the way, John Williams, we haven't even talked about the score of this movie. It's beautiful. John Williams at it again with some classic John Williams. What?
Just the way you said that.
Like, make the tone of this music just a little bit darker, and it becomes terrifying. But because of the music, and because they've already gone through the fear and the despair, and they're coming to realize why they did this, it becomes this beautiful moment right before basically the third act of this movie kind of sets into motion. And I think it's done beautifully.
Yay. You know,
Is that it?
I think it's emotional and overwhelming, and I think they did a really good job with that. I was very connected,
Yeah.
and that was a disclosure day.
You know what else to disclose? I also love Colin Firth. We've already determined this today. So,
Are we?
You're not alone, Cameron.
Do I have my fist up for no reason?
are we ready? Is that what that? Was
Yeah,
that what
just go, just go, just friggin'.
I think, as people, we sometimes talk about doing things, and so with that being said, I think it's very imperative that we
What
keep
is going on?
going
Just say it.
and make sure that we explain and explore what it means to to rate that movie.
Movie. To be continued.
What
Dun,
the
dun,
hell?
dun.
This is great. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought that was a great bit. I think there's no notes ever.
Give your numbers.
Oof.
I gave this a 7 out of 10. I think it's a solid film. It is
I give
not
it
Spielberg's best.
7
And
out
so
of 10 too? I said it too soon. Sorry, Cammy. Continue.
I rank this on par with Backrooms, and I agree with that sentiment. This is the same thing that I rank Backrooms as, and I agree with that thought process. I think people would disagree with me. I don't care. I like these two films equally. Very different reasons, mind you. I like these two films for very different reasons, but I like them very equally. So, yeah. 10 out of 10.
I like.
I actually have something a pretty similar setup here. Yeah, you get the 7 out of 10.
Anthony, go ahead. You said 7 out of 10, but why?
Yeah. Same.
Project Hail Mary is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Project Hail Mary is better than every movie this year.
That's true. I think it's my highest ranked movie this year so far.
Not every movie.
But
Okay, let's debate this real quick. Go on. Name a better 2026 movie.
Obsession.
Obsession's my number 2, so I can't fault you for that.
I haven't seen Obsession yet. I'm gonna go see it in a few days. So
I'll accept that. Actually, Hoppers is also my top 3 though.
But like the argument between Project Hail Mary versus Obsession for me is I think Obsession cinematically is a better movie and sound design is a better movie. The only argument you have between the two is do you like horror better or do you like science fiction better? And that's it.
That's the only argument. Yeah.
See, I bet I will 100% agree with you, Anthony. That is the only argument, and not at all the camera or the score.
I mean, I just said the camera too. I said camera too. So the camera work in Obsession's better, and the lighting's better, and the score's better, and the sound design's better.
Project Hail Mary. I would make the argument that between Project Hail Mary and Obsession, both are like peak for their particular genres. And Anthony's right. I do gravitate more towards the sentiment and vibes of Project Hail Mary.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Continue. I misheard.
I'm trying to find my ranking for Project Hail Mary. Doesn't matter. All right, but yeah. Saying that Project Hail Mary is better than this film is a silly statement.
Well, they're both aliens. They're both related to aliens.
In terms of potential obviousness.
But I love.
They're both like alien movies that came out this year.
Right.
Very different kinds, but yes, you're right. And both of them have like a very hopeful attitude towards people and alien relations, at least the potential. Actually, Cameron,
kiss my bump.
For my silly little
rankings.
Okay, Rocky. So
dirty. Why so dirty?
Out of the 65 podcast films that I've seen, and there's only like a few that I haven't, I currently have, and I've been changing this throughout the whole podcast, up and down. I currently, out of 65, have Disclosure Day at number 24.
Okay.
Which is actually a little lower than it previously was. But like, there's a lot of great movies we watched. I have it currently below. What a weird bunch this is. I have it below The Muppets Christmas Carol and Past Lives. I have it above Dee Dee and Backrooms.
About what? Above Dee Dee is Backrooms?
And Backrooms.
Is Dee Dee, is it like Disclosure Day Dee Dee Backrooms, or is it Disclosure Day Backrooms Dee Dee?
Disclosure Day Dee Dee Backrooms.
Interesting. I think I like Dee Dee more than this movie.
They're close. I mean, that's why they're next to each other.
I don't.
They're great movies in very different ways. Maybe I do put Dee Dee above this.
I love Dee Dee. I remember loving Dee Dee so much. I think Dee Dee's way higher on my list though, in general.
It gets really competitive in the top like 20. So this movie needs to like go crazy hard for me to top 20 podcast films at this point. Right now, like it's circling in that like sphere of movies that are like just a little outside of that like golden top 20 area, where like pretty much everything in the top 20, I'm like, that movie rocks. Or does that movie Rocky? Yeah, Project Hail Mary is my number. I have it currently at my number 7. I'm open to putting it a little higher. I don't know, but like,
No, we have some classics up there. Although I'm surprised that Past Lives is so low for you.
I just didn't connect to it as much, but I like it. I do
I
really like
cried
it.
the first time I saw that movie.
I think it's interesting. I just don't particularly connect. Yeah, maybe I just put Dee Dee above Past Lives while I'm at it. Yeah. There we go. Congrats on number 23, Dee Dee.
Which now means that Disclosure Day gets lowered by a spot.
Well,
No.
that
Yeah.
already happened when I put wait.
Yeah.
That already happened when I moved Dee Dee above Disclosure Day. But putting above Past Lives doesn't change anything. For Disclosure Day. Disclosure Day is at 25 at the moment. Look, I
Okay.
change this list up all the time. I just go back and go, let's reevaluate.
We've had so many, like, we've done a lot of podcast episodes ever since we relaunched this podcast, I have to say.
Yeah, we used to do once every couple weeks, and now it's like boom, 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 boom. We're how many have we done so far? I can actually give you a number in just a moment. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did that wrong. 1, 2, 4. Okay, so we've done like 75 of these now.
We're doing 75 movies?
Yeah.
That's
Man,
a lot
only
of
a couple,
movies.
only like another half year and we'll be 100.
Let's take a go.
We gotta like plan
we got to do a
100th
real good
episode
one
thing.
for the 100th. I guess Jaws is gonna have to wait till then.
No, we're doing it in the summer.
For number 100, we'll do one of my favorite movies. Sorry, y'all. But here's the thing: you're not gonna know that it's number 100. I'm gonna know because I keep track of the list. So I'm gonna sneak that in. It's gonna end up being like a theater movie or something. But if I have anything to say about it, I'm gonna sneak it in.
Could it be like
100.
Dune Part 3 or something?
I'm down for doing part 3.
I didn't watch.
Isn't that coming out this year?
I don't. Yes,
Yeah,
it
end of the
is.
year.
We don't need to watch Dune Part 3. Like that's
We
okay.
truly do. You know that Jack's gonna want it.
I have a list of like all the at the start of every year, and I do this with like a couple friends every now and then. Like it's like a tradition at this point. We'll rank. Like we'll go to Wikipedia for all the American films, and obviously there's gonna be others, but just to have some sort of basis, the Wikipedia list of like the American films coming out 2026 or whatever year it is, and we'll do a rankings list of what we all the movies we think that we'll see that we're already aware of, and like rank all the ones that we might potentially see based off of how good we think they're gonna be. I do have Dune Part 3 in last, and it's right under The Cat in the Hat 2026.
Cat in the Hat.
How is that a below Cat in the Hat? Truly.
Well, you see, Cat in the Hat might at least be pretty and animated. Dune Part 3 is the third movie in a franchise. I saw the first one. No, but
the second one was so
did
much
I like
better
looking
than
at
the
it?
first
Not particularly. Did I like enjoying? Did I enjoy watching Dune Part 1 in any sense? Not really. There was that one scene where he puts a hand in a rock. That was cool. But otherwise, I was like, no, not for me. I know I will like Dune Part 3, whereas there's potential for the Cat in the Hat to go hard, you know.
This is so ridiculous.
That said, I take movies off the list once I've seen them already, so I don't quite remember if there's other things lower, but I did have like Disclosure Day like 5th from the bottom, and I ended up thinking it was kind of awesome. So
maybe you're gonna love Dune Part 3, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That might be.
I got you.
You got
me.
I got you.
Except for the fact that Disclosure Day, the only thing I had to work off of for Disclosure Day is I saw the first 3 Indiana Jones movies and I liked that director. So my preparation for this movie was the one thing I had as insight beforehand was something I liked. Whereas with Dune Part 3, the one thing I have as insight before going into that movie is a thing I didn't like.
Justin, we're gonna have to We're gonna have to do Steven Spielberg marathon, or we're you're
Anyway,
missing out on a
that being
whole.
said, I think this is a great time for us to call it. Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah,
This has been another episode of the Capcom Podcast. I'm Cameron.
I'm Anthony.
and I've been the real Spielberg fan all along. Well, that's good. That was like in unison. That was cute. And this has been the Capcom Funcast.
And we'll see you next week for Goodfellas for everyone except Anthony, because Anthony won't make it even though he's the one that promoted this movie.
Oh, we could just change what the movie is then.
No, I want to see Goodfellas.
Jaws
I
next week?
love that idea.
Good.
We'll talk later. Bye.